Ready to dive in? Today, we explore golden advice that may never be used, but that's the real dream. Just then, Fire Chief Dun's phone buzzed like it had rocket boosters. Turns out, Karakahua Mountain got hit by lightning and went up in flames. It needed the second-rate firefighting team for assistance. Perform well and you might get upgraded to first class. With that news, the captain's hopes erupted like a volcano. This was his ultimate dream come true after years of waiting. Know that a first-class firefighter earns double a second-class one and has the final say in fire situations. What the captain craved was that power, especially since 4 years ago, he had accurately predicted the trajectory of a wildfire. He even suggested that arrogant first-class captain to fight fire with fire, but that guy totally ignored him and led the team in the opposite direction. In the end, homes essential for survival turned to ashes, but those folks didn't even pay a price for their arrogance. To make matters worse, their team members jumped ship for a better paycheck. To avoid this tragedy happening again, the captain had no choice but to swallow his pride and ask his old friend Dun for help. But getting a first-class firefighting team in this small town was no walk in the park. Unless they zoom around putting out fires for cash, the mayor wouldn't greenlight this losing deal. So the captain promised no days off until they're upgraded. That night, they buttered up the mayor at the bar. The captain assured him putting out fires was lucrative for the city. Dun predicted major wildfires for this mountain town. By then, residents will surely thank the mayor for the first-class fire team. Eventually, after some heartfelt persuasion, the mayor agreed to this groundbreaking request. With Dun's connections, they got the chance to extinguish nearby fires, and facing this golden opportunity, McKen warned the newcomer Brandon to be cautious and heed his advice. One single slip-up could turn all their collective efforts into dust, never to be taken lightly. Just when they were setting up their defenses, a 4-year-old clash replayed itself because the captain predicted the fire was barreling toward them. The captain told the team to set up fire breaks, but the evaluator thought that would only fan the flames, leading to a heated debate. "You're just a bystander, let us do our jobs." No, get that. Ultimately, the captain stood firm on his judgment, directing the team to set up fire breaks. Turns out, he was right. After a night of furious fighting, the raging fire finally subsided. However, on the way back, a tree almost decided to give a player an unwelcome surprise. Luckily, Brandon was quick on his feet and avoided disaster, and McKen saw the whole thing. But once back, the captain became super anxious and even smashed his trusty chair, because clashing with the evaluator could turn all their hard work into smoke. Just then, Dun walked in with the happy news they got promoted. Although the evaluator called the captain a stubborn man, their team's performance truly impressed him. In the end, they were finally upgraded to a first-class firefighting team. They officially changed their team name to the Granite Mountain Super Support Team, and to celebrate this significant occasion, the captain warmly invited all the team members' families to join in a grand party at the base. This rare reunion was not merely about coming together, but also marked the beginning of a brand new start for the team. But worried about being homeless, Brandon decided to move in with him, but just needed to boot his current roommate out of the way. Before long, they went from friendly acquaintances to best bros. After the party, Brandon went to deliver supplies to his girlfriend, but this time, she opened the door and actually acknowledged him. She expressed her deep gratitude for his unspoken contributions over these past months and felt genuine delight at his successful turnaround. She then allowed him to embrace their cherished fruit of love tightly, and as he gazed down at their daughter, who was as delicate as a carved jade bracelet in his arms, he truly realized how arduous and helpless their past life had been. Moving forward, he'd completely leave his past behind and embrace the future with his family. 9 months later, after getting the girlfriend's approval, he finally had a chance to bring his daughter home for a sleepover. McKen, though rough around the edges, carefully wrapped their home furniture in bubble wrap. Just as the night had settled into a peaceful silence, providing an opportunity for some rest, their daughter suddenly fell gravely ill with a high fever, and no medication seemed to alleviate it. Since childhood, fevers had become all too familiar to them. They were left with no choice but to reluctantly seek assistance from a teammate's wife, who, with her attentive and compassionate care, managed to bring their daughter's fever down at last. The teammate expressed that this was not only the profound bond of brotherhood, but also a heartwarming, welcome gift for him entering fatherhood. Meanwhile, the captain was cherishing a rare moment of intimacy with his wife, yet she harbored a deep wish for a child to fill the empty time left by his preoccupation with other matters. The captain was still sticking to the agreement they made when they married, no kids until retirement, but this difference of opinion sired their rare dinner together. The next day, the captain took the team to handle an unexpected fire, but his wife was in a car accident on her way home. Looking at the damaged car, the captain was heartbroken and furious. Sad she was still running the ranch, angry she didn't tell him immediately. But his wife told him to stop pretending. If he really cared, he would take time off to be with her instead of just offering some empty words of concern. Yet the firefighting addicted captain didn't listen. Instead, he turned around to tackle a new fire situation. This time, they needed to save a 2,000-year. The team gathered around the ancient tree like moss to a flame, digging out fire bricks and forming a last line of defense around the tree. They had to keep an eye on falling embers from above, ready to quash any flames igniting behind their firebreak. Ultimately, the two fiery forces clashed and dissipated into nothingness, and after the task, they captured the beautiful moment in front of the ancient tree. After the victory, they took pictures by the ancient tree for some great memories, but on the way back, Brandon got ambushed by a sneaky snake. Though the pain was intense, he insisted that the nurse not use painkillers because that could lead him back down his dark path. Ultimately, he woke up after 3 days and nights without medication. He saw his mom handing him a newspaper. The newspaper detailed their heroic efforts to protect the ancient tree, but his mother wanted him to get a safer job because his daughter's future needed him. Brandon quietly nodded. That night, he approached the captain with his mother's advice, sharing his desire to switch to a safer and easier job in building firefighting. However, the captain was very disappointed and firmly insisted he wouldn't let him leave this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He told Brandon had given him the kind of opportunity no one else in the world would offer. But in the face of this golden chance, he chose to leave, and the captain thought the building department wouldn't take him. Ultimately, the conversation ended badly. At the bar, the wife witnessed it all. On the way home, she asked why he was angry. "Isn't it common for young team members to leave for family?" The captain replied that he was different. Young team members wanting to leave for their families was not new. His wife said, "Since you are scared he'll relapse, why not take him to a rehab support group? I think you're just angry because he put family over work." But the captain chose to disregard her words, instead bringing the car to a halt by the roadside and resuming their argument once more.